Give me a minute to set up here. Should have allowed myself just a little bit more time, but it normally doesn't take me this long to set up. Get the computer up so I can read your comments. Switch accounts. Again, I apologize, it's taking me a minute to set up. Should have just waited a little bit longer before I launched it. Almost there though. Close all the porn pages. All right, I think we're up and running here. Kill the audio. Why is there a commercial on my live stream? All right, why can't I see the comments? Here we go. Thanks for helping me. What's up, guy? Oh, that helps me. Hey, dude. Somebody post a comment real quick, because I can't tell if I'm seeing the live comments. Why can't I see live comments? Sorry about this. Alright, I think I got something. Let me try real quick. Okay, yeah. Alright, now I got the live comments. We are good to go. Fix your title, bro. What's my title look like? I just wanted to appreciate the people that... yeah, I can't fix the title till after I'm done. Sorry, I was kind of rushing through. But I just wanted to take a minute to make a live stream video and thank all the people that have been helping me. Obviously, the baby shower registry. Wrote some of these down here. We got Nick. Congratulations and thank you for all the awesome and explicit word, hilarious videos. Best Nick. What did he do on here? I think he did diaper fun, but I forgot to write it down. Then, of course, we got Jesus Rabbi. He's been a huge part of the channel. He usually moderates my comments. I've known him since I had like 500 subscribers or something like that. It was pretty funny how we met. Basically, I was doing a comparison video with the Ruger and the Walter, and I was talking better about the Ruger than the Walter, and he said he was going to come defecate on my floor. Our relationship expanded from there. He donated to the baby shower fund, which is in the description if you'd ever like to participate in it. A car seat, which is just amazing because those things are stupid expensive and that would have costed me a lot of money. And to my diaper fund. Then we got Marco. He donated to the diaper fund. Thank you, Marco. Nick. Outfit. I think that's what's written down on here. Nick, thank you for the baby outfit. Dave. A onesie. Thank you. And this gentleman from New York donated these straight razors. He actually wrote me a letter too, but I failed to put the letter in the spot where I remember so I could find it, because I was going to read it on here. But a bunch of badass straight razors. And then, what's his name? I believe it's Mike. I should have wrote it down. I thought I remembered his name, so I didn't write it down. But He donated me a bunch of old ammunition, sent it to my P.O Box, which is pretty cool. One of those old shells with the primer right there where the hammer would hit and set it off. Then an old brass, I believe this one's a 10 gauge because he donated me a 10 and a 12 gauge. Yeah, this one's a 10 gauge. So awesome how they used to load these shells. Then of course we got random PayPal donations. Stormy Young, he sent me $100 on PayPal, just randomly. I'm not even really sure who the guy is, because like on PayPal you get to see their email and that, and it did have a name attached to it, which was Stormy Young. Thank you for the $100 PayPal donation. Alfred, I can't pronounce the last name, I apologize. He sent me a $50 donation on PayPal. Thank you. Michael Steele sent me a $20 and a $10 PayPal donation. Thank you. Then, of course, we got the Patreons. The patrons. What do you even call them? Patreons or patrons? Those guys have been tearing it up. They've helped me out. My Patreon's up to like $150 a month, which is just amazing. Like, you know how long it took me to make $150 a month on YouTube? It wasn't until January of this year. Like, this has been amazing. They've been supporting me. And normally that money will go towards like improving the channel and that, but I'm kind of behind the 8 ball on bills and stuff, so it's just been going to bills. But it does help me out because otherwise I'd be totally sunk. And I really appreciate you guys helping me. Like, without your guys' help, I would not have been able to get my house. It would not have been possible. I just did not make enough truck driving to be able to swing that. But with my YouTube combined with the truck driving, I was able to swing it. Then we can't forget about one of my biggest sponsors ever, which is Olight. I got a video coming out on the M2R. You can say what you want about Olight, about their aggressive marketing and that, but they're supporting the little guys. They even helped out that guy, Givesendgo or whatever. I don't know the exact story, but Kodiak Boy? Game Boy? Kodiak Boy 64, he's got a whole video on his channel about how like they did a flash sale and all the proceeds went to a YouTuber. I've never seen a manufacturer do anything like that. They've been supporting the YouTube community more than like anyone I know of. If there's someone else, let me know in the comments so I can try to get a hold of them. Kodiak Boy, Jesus Rabbi. Alright, so let's hit the comments. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. Again, like I said, if you want to participate in the online baby shower, the registry is in the comments. So what do we got here? Coda Boy 32, close enough. Guns and Gadgets. Guns and Gadgets. That's the guy that ran into the problem. Olight is literally supporting them. Speaking of which, I got a flash sale at the end of the month. Just had to do a little shameless plug there. He knows Coda's name. He's just trying to troll that old man. That's nothing like ruffling the feathers of an old rooster. It's always funny. I did a video on the Tag Pack talking about this awesome sling. Don't buy it. I brought it home, I started playing with it, checking it out. It's garbage. I'll do a video explaining. But the QD mount-up points, they're out of spec. Usually, well, I shouldn't say usually. Was it 2 out of 3 QD points I plugged it into, I could just pull it out. And how the little attachment ring goes in the center, there is like this much material holding it together. I truly feel if I were to take my thumb, I could push and just snap it off. Don't buy that sling. What's Coda's name? Look up. Guns and Gadgets. I seriously want that 8-track player on the top shelf on the right. I don't know how much the camera can actually see. Oh, right there. what kind of hunting do you guys do over in Wisconsin? I do whitetail mainly. I mean, I'll blast small game whenever there's an opportunity, or what would you call it? Nuisance hunting? Like stuff that's just a nuisance, like pigeons, stuff like that. That's always fun to blast. I did bow hunting for a while, but life happened and you have to invest time into bow hunting, so I had to pretty much give that up. But we do have waterfall, obviously small game. They're starting to give out license to hunt wolves now because they're hitting a point to where they're starting to attack things. Coyotes, obviously. Whitetail. Turkeys, can't forget about turkeys. I don't know if you can get a bear license in Wisconsin. I think you can, but it's some sort of lottery. Do you like revolvers? I do like revolvers, but only the old school ones, like single actions. Just the newer revolvers, they're great. I mean, they work and all, but I like the romance of an old single action. Just how it functions, how all the parts fit together. It's a little bit more special to me than like a semi-auto. So as like a collector's piece or a range toy, without a doubt, single action. Hit my good combo. Shotgun comparison. Use a 22 to go rabbit or squirrel hunting. Actually, I used to use a air rifle for rabbit and squirrel hunting. Then eventually I got to a 22 and then a shotgun, and it kind of lost its appeal because it just wasn't a challenge anymore. And you see it and just like, boom! I did get a rabbit with a sword once, and me and my cat got one at a time. This was before he lost his leg, but I would send him in because we had this pile of tin. He would go under the tin, and then when they'd come out, I'd throw knives at him. But I didn't get any with it throwing a knife at him. I did kick it, and it tripped the rabbit up, and then the cat jumped on it, and then I hit its head. Everybody enjoyed hike. They are good eating. I've never been able to cook a rabbit so it tastes good. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know, my dad was going to show me, but he never got around to it, but the meat's just too gamey. I couldn't... It's hard to explain. It's got a unique taste, and I just couldn't get past it. But I do enjoy killing them. Cook a rabbit like a chicken. I killed a rabbit with a rock by throwing it. Nice. Let's see what we got here. Fry it. Yeah, I could try frying it. I tried baking it. I think I put it in aluminum foil and then just put butter and salt on it, and it didn't turn out at all. What's the deal with Glock? What's the deal with the Glock? I don't know that word. I'm not really a cat. That's an awesome cat, mate. Yeah, that cat was pretty awesome. He got a big ass snake too. I was getting ready to start driving truck, and I had parked the truck at my dad's house at that point in time. I come out and I hear him just going crazy. I look, and there's probably a 5, maybe a 6 foot snake he was wrestling with. That was pretty cool. I wasn't sure if it was poisonous, otherwise I would have just let him take it by himself, but I clubbed it, and he fed the snake to all the rest of the cats. What's with the people who like rebel guns? I don't know that word. Finally, make a live chat. Yummy. Good evening, big man. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Tom Stone. Let's see what we got here. Thanks for all the... Oh! Somebody else that might be supporting the channel. When I was talking about doing my Bushmaster, I did that last video where I showed you how to bed the barrel. Now, I did the crappy way because I want to go through it step by step. We're just going to do one thing, see what kind of accuracy it yields or performance it yields, then we're going to do another thing. So we're going to take it completely apart, change one thing, and then do another one. Well, anyways, the guy in that video commented saying he was going to donate me an FN barrel. If this does happen, what we're going to do with the Bushmaster barrel is try any and all ideas, how far out they are, that may or may not work or may or may not destroy the barrel, to see what kind of accuracy it yields. This way in the future we know, like, oh hey, you know, you tried that with the Bushmaster, don't do that, it didn't work for shit. Or you tried that with the Bushmaster and it did work. Because I won't be worried about destroying the barrel then. Because I'll have a replacement barrel. It's an FN barrel. I don't know if you will actually donate me the barrel, because it's an FN barrel. I mean, those are premium barrels. They could probably make a smoothbore barrel and it'll probably still throw good groups. But anyway, so one of the things I was thinking about trying was putting a chrome polish on a bore snake and just pulling it through a bunch and polishing the bore and see if that yields better accuracy. So if you guys have any ideas of things that you've always wanted to try with a barrel, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that to rifling because it might destroy it, make sure to let me know, because if I do get that barrel, we'll be trying them. Every last one of them. Just got sick again. Oh, hey babe, what's up? Yeah, she's been vomiting like crazy. I've never seen anyone vomit like that again, and apparently she just got sick again. I'm glad you made it into a live stream, though. Flat salty haven't I seen. What's the best upper version for an AR platform? A 20-inch upper version, like you want to buy a complete one, I would probably, what's the name of that company? Creatine? No. Just type in Chrome Line versus... How did I find their channel? It's actually a barrel manufacturer out of Wisconsin. Type in AR-15 Barrels Wisconsin. The company starts with a C. They put a sub-MOA guarantee on their AR barrels. If I was just going to buy an upper and I didn't want to mess with it at all, because it's got that sub-MOA guarantee, that's the upper I would buy. It would be an A2 national match upper. If I wasn't going to buy their barrel or their upper, then I'd just build my own. I would buy an A2 match receiver because, as you know, I like A2 stuff. Eventually I will play with optics, but I don't just throw an optic on an A2. If I'm going to make a rifle for an optic, I'm going to match the rifle and the optic together to get maximum performance. I will build the rifle around the idea of the exact optic I'm going to run. So it would be a totally different setup. It would be different. But anyways, I'd buy an A2 national match upper. Then I'd probably buy any manufacturer barrel that will take an A2 sight that will guarantee I will get sub-MOA on probably 55 grain ammo, because with 55 grain ammo on a 20-inch barrel at basically point-blank range, you can pierce body armor. Then I'd probably run a flash hider. I don't think I'd run a break on that. But that's what I would do. Alright, just got sick again with 20-inch. What's the deal with the Glock fans? They are like their only reliable gun on the market. I've never really got into Glocks. I probably would have if they still held the market like they used to, but they just don't anymore. When Glocks come in here, because there's a Glock 19 and then 15 different variants of that same exact firearm, and then you got 5 different generations, the odds of me guessing what Glock somebody would want besides just a run-of-the-mill Glock 19 and put it on the shelf are pretty low. Usually when somebody goes in the Glock world, they're like, oh, I want the Glock 19 or whatever model number. I want this generation, and I want it with these particular features on it. So it's just easier for me, because we're not just this massive sports store, to order it on the spot. And the actual amount of Glocks that we do sell aren't that many. Shield pretty much took the market. Like, they're just crushing it. So yeah, if they were more popular in the store, I'd probably be a bigger fan of Glocks. But that, and I just never really liked the styling of the pistol. It was almost kind of like the manufacturers were like, that's good enough. Send it out the door. They never really... Like, you look at an FN pistol, It's got all quality parts. There's beautiful styling on it. Like, you can tell there was a lot of thought put into the look of the firearm and the performance of the firearm. To me, it feels like Glock was like, okay, it runs, ship it out, and then just stop there. Alright, where are we at? Look to hook into Armorlight, low shelf, low receiver. Ooh, I like Armorlight receivers. My first like AR platform was an Armorlight AR-10 A2 carbine. Wasn't the most reliable, but it was a decent firearm. You keep doing what you're doing. You put out good info and 20 years in the Army and what else? Never saw a shotgun. Yeah, I was actually getting hammered in my shotgun videos. I don't know what the deal was, but people were literally offended by them. And one of the most common things they'd post is, you're not in the military, you have no right to talk about firearms. And that's why in the last video I was like, what? Dude, the odds of somebody actually using a shotgun in the military, and then if they did use the shotgun in the military, their training usually is just on blowing locks. I don't know why you would have to have military experience to talk about shotguns. So yeah. Alright, where are we at here? Voodoo Tactical, premium parts. Well, Black Sheepdog, it's probably all they know. Love your take. Always love the channel. Thanks. What's the best? What optic do you recommend for an AR? I've been using a Vortex 6x18 with a Weaver mount. For me, with an AR-15, after 300, yes, they can go beyond 300 yards. That's not a problem. But after 300 yards, that's when the ballistic performance of the cartridge, the 5.56 or 223, really goes downhill because it drops under 2,100 feet per second. And after a cartridge drops under 2,100 feet per second, it performs like a pistol cartridge. You're no longer getting that massive trauma and the huge shock. You're just punching holes in targets. So I would design my AR-15 to excel from close range to 300 yards. That's where your 3x magnifiers would come in, your 1x6s. If I was going to do varmint hunting and I wasn't really worried about, you know, ballistic performance, I just needed to punch a hole in like a groundhog or something, then yes, I would go beyond the 6x reticle. Otherwise, for me, like say I built an AR-15 for an optic, I would either build it for, you know, like a red dot with a 3x magnifier, or I would build it for like a 1x6 with a BDC reticle. Because after 300 yards, I'd be switching to a different gun. I would go to the SCAR. Well, anything 308, but the idea is I would go to the SCAR after that because basically all cartridges drop below 2,100 feet per second at about 300 yards. Some will go a little bit farther, but after that, then you're looking at kinetic energy and weight and diameter of round. You're no longer getting it in speed because they react with the body differently. Not to mention, after about 300 yards, then you really start having some drop with a AR, but I mean, you still get that with a 308. The point being is I would design it around really excelling within 300 yards. So I would go like a 1x6. An ACOG is like the perfect reticle ever for an AR-15. It's just a straight up 4 power. It's got your BDC reticle in it. It uses a BK... God, it's been so long since I've looked at the specifications. I believe it's BK14 German cut glass. Cut, it's not like cut like they cut. It's the actual name of the place where the glass is made. Or is it shot glass? I gotta look at the specification. It's either called German cut glass or German shot glass. And it's German and then the town the glass is made in. That glass in the ACOG is the cheapest optic you can get with that glass in it. Usually you only find that glass in like Smith & Benders, stuff like that. Yeah, you could always go with Asian like HD glass, but it's just not the same. It's high quality glass, but the German cut glass or shot glass, I forget what it's called, Like the BK4, BK7, BK14, that's in a whole nother category. They're not even comparable. That's why you'll never see charts with comparing those two, because it don't make sense. And you just can't. It'd be like comparing a High Point with a Les Paul. It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't do that. Oh no, my computer froze. I'm going to be rebooting the computer because it froze, so I have no idea what I got for comments, and I can't read the comments. So we'll just talk for a minute. But yeah, honest to God, if you're building an AR-15, don't throw on a massive optic. You want something that'll perform really good from 0 to 300 yards. You just don't... I mean, you can do what you want. You really can. But if you're going to set up a varmint rifle, how do I even word it without... Yeah, an AR-15 would make a good varmint rifle with, you know, a 24-inch barrel, stainless steel bull barrel, you know, sub-half MOA, a big scope and everything, but then that's all the job that rifle can do. It's going to suck at everything else. There's going to be no other job it can do sufficiently. You set it up from 0 to 300 yards, that's like the hot spot for that particular firearm. Let me see what the computer's doing here. Could always spin my phone around. I apologize for this delay. This computer is like literally gonna die any day now. It's constantly freezing up on me and just plain shutting down. That's why you'll see like glitches in my videos. I'm gonna get one as soon as possible. I'm really hoping I can get with my taxes, which would have been 100% for sure, but right about last month, a semi lost some of his load on the interstate, and there was an I-beam laying across the interstate, and just driving along, and all of a sudden the car in front of me is like, I'm like, oh my god, boom, jumped this freaking I-beam, and it destroyed my rims, and ripped off my bumper, and broke my exhaust, and oh, the damage was severe, and I got a $1,000 deductible, so that was the money I had saved up for a computer, so we're back trying to get a computer again. But that was pretty terrifying. I almost needed a new driver's seat, and I didn't even see it. I was just following a car, and all of a sudden the car in front of me was like... Then drove through a whole bunch of other broken car parts. It was a nightmare. Just got my car back Wednesday, so that's pretty cool. Come on, load. Yeah, so we'll be doing the review on the M2R. Hopefully I'll have it done pretty soon. I didn't actually want to do this, so some sort of misunderstanding. I thought they wanted me to look at a weapon light. I know nothing at all about these baton lights. So I'm just going to have to wing the video. Like, literally, I don't even know. I can go through the specs and that and how it looks and how it feels in my hand, but any, like, real information I'm bringing to the table, I just got nothing. It does have 4 different lights. There's this one, which is super dull, which that's okay in case you don't want to be seen. How do I do it? That's the biggest thing I don't like about old lights is they're too complex. Alright, so then if you half push it, I think this would be high beam. Then they call this one turbo. I don't know how bright turbo is. I think it's like 1800 lumens, but I had the lanyard hanging in front of it on accident, and it started smoking, so it's definitely bright. Alright, I think I'm back up on reading comments, so 1 second. I almost got the page pulled up. Load! Really, there's an ad again? Alright. I think I'm up and running now. Let me double check. Oh, thank you, Jesus Rabbi, for the... Do you give away flashlights on Patreon and YouTube? I give all my stuff away on Patreon that I get for free that I usually make videos because I just don't really know what else to give away on there. So, like, my Olight flashlights, I got a gun safe. I don't know. I might keep the gun safe. I haven't decided yet. And then just the little odds and ends that companies send me stuff, that all goes to Patreon. Alright, where are we here? G-Wheeler go with a single stack 9mm Glock or Ruger. Howdy fresh. How many lumens is that flashlight? 1800, I believe. I don't know if you can read that. I got the stats on my email, but I don't have them in front of me. Keep the gun safe, especially if it's a little one for your house. Well, it is a little one for my house, but I'm going to be dropping the video soon. It offers, like, no protection against attack. The only thing it would be good for is keeping your kids out of it. And my daughter pretty much already mastered how to break into it, so. What do you think of Burst of Thunder 380s? We've sold a lot of Burst of Thunder 380s. We haven't had any come back yet, so that's pretty cool. It is a blowback gun. They do offer a threaded barrel one now. With it being a blowback gun, you can literally throw together a silencer in your garage and run it. So, I think that's pretty awesome. Plus, it looks like the PPK. If I were to make one, I would make a fake silencer to put on it. This way it would look like a James Bond gun. Oh, how are you, brother? Olight, if you push back on the light, and if you push the end high button, 1800 lumens for 4. Well, that's strobe. Alright, so Olight, push the end high. Okay, yeah, so he's pretty sure that if I push this all the way in, that is 1800 lumens. No joke, this is bright. I don't want to flash the camera because that's just annoying. What do you think about repealing the NFA? Yes, I would love to repeal the NFA. Which brings me to another point. So usually when they do a law, they will weigh, okay, how much good is the law doing, how much versus how much bad is the law doing? How many people have went to jail for gun crimes that had no criminal record whatsoever, like they accidentally cut their firearm too short or something like that, versus how many criminals have they stopped with these gun laws? Why is nobody looking at it like that? That's literally the strategy they're doing to try to legalize marijuana everywhere. They're like, well, how much damage is marijuana doing versus how much damage is the regulations against marijuana doing? Why is nobody attacking gun laws like that? Literally, like, how many criminals have had an SBR and the SBR gun law has prevented a crime? Probably none. How many people have went to jail by unintentionally breaking an NFA gun law? Why are these things not being looked at? Selling my Bursa. I regretted selling my Bursa. 380, Jesus Rabbi, can you say what you want? Oh, heck yes. Bursa is a sexy firearm. Bursa Thunder Plus. Bursa blah, blah, blah. How many gun fights have you been in your life? Love the comments. Speak a new train of thought. That is none of your business. MMPEZ is good. Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job on the MMP 380EZ. They really looked at the advantages that particular firearm could bring to the table and they maximized on them, which is pretty awesome. Versus Thunder, blah, 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 blah. Pushing all
always getting their lead. Common guns, I get what you are going on that in the point, but we are all on the same page, right? I'm not following that comment. Pick one that you can find plus P ammo. What's the price on that light?
I think these are somewhere around $100. I'll try to find out an MSRP and roll it in on when I do the video, but they're kind of all over the place on their prices, so I don't know. I usually don't talk about the prices because they usually run flash sales and stuff, so the price is always like this. So I guess you just gotta watch the market. I believe the end of the month, because they usually ask for me to have the video up by a certain date, and I believe it's the 30th they want me to drop the video on. I think that's when they're running their sale.
Where was I? What's the price on light? 14W is actually dead or dying. I gotta back up. It's going too fast! Alright, 14W, is he dead or just dying? What would I take to bring the round back?
It's not that the 40 S&W doesn't perform great and everything. It does everything it's supposed to do. It's just usually people are... The FBI testing is what really drove the nail home. That was like, okay, pistol rounds are pistol rounds. Unless you can accelerate that pistol round to 2,100 feet per second, the performance is only by the diameter, and a 45 is a bigger diameter, or you can go with a 9mm and get more capacity, which would punch more holes, which you'd have more diameter of holes. So where does the 40 fit in? And that's pretty much the train of thought that everybody came to. Once you're like above 2,100 feet per second, then that's a whole nother cup of wax, or ball of wax. So what are you looking for out of a pistol round? You are looking for just enough kinetic energy to get into the vitals. You don't care if you have so much kinetic energy you can punch through like 10 people, you just need to get into the vitals. This is your off switch, these are all timers. 9mm has enough to get into the vitals. So you could go with 9mm, which has a whole bunch of extra capacity, or 45, which gives you a bigger diameter, but it comes out in the wash because you have less ammo, so you'd have to measure all the 9mm bullets and then add up to what kind of circle you can make, and then measure all the 45 bullets that that particular firearm could carry, and then, you know, the size of the circle. And the 40's advantages, which were kinetic energy, they're just irrelevant because it's still a pistol cartridge. So there's nothing wrong with the 40, it's just that it doesn't really have any definitive advantages that are making people wanting to buy it right now.
So that's none. The keyboard expert. What make and model? Oh, hold on, I got a super chat I gotta find real quick. $5. The socialists just want laws to push their own agenda and get them more votes. They know they know the gun people will never vote for them, so
it's a good point. I mean, it's really what it's all about is getting votes. Shitty way to do it though. I'm really disappointed they slam all over us, and I still just don't understand why we even have a threat of gun laws. They're experiments and they have failed multiple times.
40 has a bit more recoil and a higher price, which is true. Winchester Model 70 is awesome. I wish I could afford one.
They're not that expensive. If you jump on Gunbroker and you watch it and you actually participate in auctions, don't expect to jump on there and just hit buy it now. You're never going to get a good price. You got to go on to the auction, have a good idea of what you want to pay for it, set the bid, and don't look at it again until the auction's over. Because a lot of people will use shield bidders. What a shield bidder is okay, I want to sell, we're just going to make something up here, I want $200 for this old light. I don't want a penny less. So what I would do is I'd put this up for auction, and then like the last day or so, I would have somebody I know put in a $200 bid. Then if the bidding goes over that, then the flashlight's sold. If the bidding doesn't go over that, then it doesn't matter. I pay the fees of whatever they spent, and then I get my light back. And the whole point, like with guns, is you use a shield bidder, because if you have your shield bidder come in on the last day, usually people just out of ego, like, okay, I want this flashlight, I bid on it, I put in a $195 bid. I've been the winning bidder for almost a week now. There's only like a day left of the auction. Now somebody else jumps in there and they bid against me. Because I've been the winner for so long, even though I know I'm ripping myself off, I will go out of my way just to beat them out of pride. And with a shield bidder, you can get people to engage into pride bidding, and then you get a whole bunch more. So if you're going to bid on a firearm, put your bid in, the maximum you will spend, and still be okay with it, and don't watch the auction. Just walk away. You'll get an email if you won. And that's how you get firearms for a good price at auction.
We need more we need more pro-gun propaganda, make music videos.
Oh, you're totally right. The only way we're ever going to win, or with us, there's not much we can do. Making changes takes this KGB expert. I had seen a video on it. Tactical Toolbox, if the video's still on YouTube, they probably took it down. Had the interview with him, and I believe he hit the nail on the head. It takes about 15 years to make a real change, because we can't make the change. What we need to do is make the change in the youth, and then as they get older, the change just happens. If somebody were to jump into Washington and just start making changes, if the general public doesn't support those changes, they won't stick. They'll get changed. The only way we can make a difference is if we change 3- and 4-year-olds to grow up looking at things differently. Then as they grow up, they infect the people around them, they spread the idea. Then when their generation comes into power and like takes presidency, government seats, stuff like that, then the changes happen. You can't just make the changes now. The changes that were made now took place like 15 years ago.
Oh, where are we at here? Cool, Matt, did you know that used gun is good? But I prefer to look at the rifle before I buy it. You need to know what you're actually looking at.
Get a hold of the seller. Be like, hey, I want you to video chat me. We're going to jump on FaceTime or whatever, and we're just going to go over the gun. There's a couple of things I want to look at. Yeah, it's not perfect, but that'll get you in the ballpark, because then you can ask questions and that. And most sellers will do that for you. I know I would if I was selling a gun.
Buy gun people, have a safe night.
See you later, man.
Later, snipers build a real... Snipe bidding is a real common on eBay. I think that's supposed to be shield bidding. Actually, the funny thing is the more left want more guns, the more comments will roll. Hello, handsome. Apparently racist 380 never fails. Yes, Brad, I've seen back then. Blah, blah. YouTube said no to that. I said yes. Rose, I'll find it, babe. What? Rosie, I'll find it, babe, baby. I don't know. So, have I more than I care for? How about Hawa? Any good? They look nice.
From what I've seen out of Hawa, yeah, they're decent rifles. They also do have a sub 1 MOA guarantee on their website. The configuration of them, they just have stupid options. Like literally, you can pretty much go on there and put them together however you want. And if you're considering a Hawa and you can find one configured the way you'd like it, yeah, I'd pull the trigger on it. Because they're not that expensive. They're cheap, which is awesome. And they're made out of decent parts. Metal trigger guards, all that hoodah. Man, I should have drank a bunch of water before I shot this video. I keep coughing.
No, snipe bidding, I guess you can call it shield bidding, but shield bidding is where someone is watching your bids and outbid you at the last minute.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if you're selling something on eBay, you typically don't get any decent bids until the last hour or so. The hell did I just sell? A Dean Martin doll on eBay? It was like at $1 all the way up until the last hour, and then it sold for like $25.
Sniping is nothing like shill. Studio, it's true. There are racist groups. Fight. I guess no gun porn, bummer. I see why weapons for civilians are important against bad guy government, but I feel like humans are too. Thanks. It ain't. It ain't. It is like more of the other, but not the worst. Thank you for the same for your shoutouts.
Yeah, not a problem.
Trying to sell my old Transformer toys to get more things that go bang.
Right on. If you do your eBay auction properly, just remember, don't put a reserve on it. Start it at 1 penny. Run it for a week, and you want it to end on either Saturday or Sunday around 6 p.m. That's when you will get the most out of your eBay auctions. If you do that, and you don't have like some sort of minimum or something like that that you already have set up, like you're just trying to maximize profits, you will. Then you can also share that auction into like buy-sell trade groups on Facebook. So like let's say you join Transformers Toy buy-sell trade group on Facebook, you start your eBay auction at a penny, share it on there because it works just like YouTube videos. The more people that see it, the higher algorithm it gets, the more people it shows it to. So when you start your auction at a penny, a whole bunch of people look at it and start watching that because they're like, oh my god, there's a Transformer toy for a penny, and they're like $100. A whole bunch of people will watch it, the algorithm will grow, more and more people will see it, and then you'll have a slamming auction. Make sure to use high quality pictures, look at other Transformer auctions, and make sure to put the same information in that they have on their auctions that go for a lot.
Hong Kong is wishing they had guns. Yeah, that's no joke. I'm a big fan. Thanks, OG Gamer 50,000. Yep, I would totally support that case. Are you going to do a video with the Tessa AK?
The Tessa AK is a home build. I will do some videos with that at some point, but that AK lived a very, very hard life. I think it started off around like, God, it's been so long. 3.5 MOA is where it started off with a brand new barrel, but it's had a couple thousand rounds through it. It's all been bimetal ammo, and now it's somewhere around like 7 or 8 MOA, and so it's not really a good example for AKs. That's why I got the Romy G, which I'll be pumping out some videos with shortly.
My son is 40 bucks and just Ninja Turtles not in a box. You would do or Dumper Marlin.
Oh, without a doubt, Ruger 1022. That's my favorite 1022. Don't even ask me a question about any other one against that because I will go with the Ruger 1022.
From far left. Anti-gun, pro-gun. So the difference, just shoot people that disagree with. CRS, very useful. Thank you so much. Must get back to the... Thanks, CRS Firearms.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye, Rosie. My pick would be Marlin for accuracy, but Ruger... But the Ruger you can customize.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And the Ruger's also got a hammer forged barrel. They'll take a thrashing. I can't even give you a realistic estimate of. I'm gonna be getting my 22 back from my dad. It was, how did it go? Because he's got two of them. One came from my grandpa. The other one came from Pete. Then they went to my dad. He shot the ever-living hell out of them. Then they went to my cousin, who shot the ever-living hell out of them. Then I finally got old enough to where I could go in the woods by myself, and me and like 4 or 5 of my buddies shot the ever-living hell out of them. The round count would just be an unrealistic number to even quote, but it's insanely high. It still functions. It doesn't function the best. It definitely needs a cleaning, because there was literally corrosion falling out of the barrel when I shot it last. But I'm going to get that from him. I'm going to get it up and running, and we're going to do a bunch more videos.
Where am I? Oh my Rosie. No, for accuracy, I have a Transformers Optimus Prime. Nice. What is your favorite song?
Well, I used to be a huge Metallica fan. But then they started going full left. I mean, just trying to get into one of their concerts, like $100 ticket, you would still need the Hubble telescope and they would still look this small. And then they went like full leftist, so I mean they still got music. I can't ignore that. Like music that had changed the way music is. But now I've been more around like Five Finger Death Punch, to be honest. Out of their songs, if I had to pick one, I really like that song I Apologize for a while. But then it went to... I don't know. I'd have to look up the name of the song. I heard it on the radio a bunch of times, and I really like that one.
What's your favorite song? Hello! Polish AKs are the best. CRS Firearms, when are you retiring? Your XD45, that piece of shit. The XD45 will never get retired, but it did move to a strictly car gun. I've had some issues with that thing. It ran great at first, and then it didn't want to run. Now it's running again, so it's literally sitting in the car door. I got a Marlin 75. Not $7.95 because it was the cheapest possible thing I could get. Where did you pick that up? Well, the Romy G, if you don't mind asking.
You gotta build them. You can't buy them. The Romy G will come in parts kits. Just watch for them. You'll know them because they'll have a G on the trunnion, and then they'll have the black stripe on the wood furniture. You'll have to get a receiver, obviously. The best part is the original people that built the Romy Gs didn't know how to build guns. So to build it correctly, you need to screw it up. You need to over-rivet it, like to where it bends the receiver. You need to smash the rivets all crooked. And that will give you the most authentic look. And that's common with AKs. A lot of people will be like, well, even if I was going to buy an AK, I'd be looking at like the shape of the rivets and that. But to do it correctly, and you got to screw it up. Even the paint job's got to be screwed up for it to look right.
I love revolvers. Yeah, I like both. Revolvers are sweet. The good one, Wheeler. Do you have experience with electronic ear pull?
Unfortunately, no. I've never used any sort of electronic ear protection. I'd love to. I just haven't yet. So, eventually we'll cross that road. I had that Pro for Show. I think that ear protection was contact me, and I thought they were having me try out electronic ear protection, but unfortunately there was miscommunication there, and it was not. So, still waiting to try my first electronic ears.
Oh, what do we got here? I love my Ruger 10/22 takedown. I can shoot a flea off of a rat's ass at 100 yards. Revolvers always work. Semi-autos work most of the time. I got an M238 and I love it. Surprised me, I've seen revolvers fail.
That's like the biggest difference with revolvers. Usually when they fail, they're done. You can't do a quick fix. Usually when the semi-auto fails, it's something you can clear out. That is something you're going to want to consider.
Now, where are we? Shout out from West Central Wisconsin. Love watching your channel grow. Guns, are you planning on doing videos on about survival stuff or any other type of things branch out to?
Hey, I'm from Central Wisconsin too. I have a list of builds, different types of guns I'd like to do in front of the camera. It really comes down to finances. I mean, I still want to do the 1887. I have a really cool idea for that, which I wanted the manufacturers to sponsor me for that one because it's something no one's done. So it will definitely strike up interest in the firearm, but Century Arms basically told me to pound sand because they got upset because I was realistic about how their firearms are. And they got pretty heated about that, so they wouldn't sponsor me. They were going to. Then I was going to have... Who the hell was that? Numridge? I forget the website's called because a lot of the parts I need for that build are on there. They were going to sponsor me. They were really interested. Then they just backed out. I asked my girlfriend what I did wrong, and she was just like, you talk too much. You should have kept it shorter. They were going to sponsor you, but you kept talking, and then they decided not to. Then I got the 930. That I want to do a build on, because I got something special for that thought up, but again, money. AR-15 builds, there's a couple of them I want to do. Obviously, we're doing the Bushmaster right now. I want to do some single action videos, but that's even going to be harder because I want to keep the single action in the end. So, again, money. But as I grow in that, you'll see some more builds and stuff like that come out.
Alright, where are we? Revolvers most of the time, high-tech sights on my takedown. So you're not... so not Baby Shark remix? I have never... Five-finger death punches. Overrated. 11 feel free to your shot at what? Five-finger death punch is overrated. 11 pounds. Feet free to take your shot at my chin. Oh. Keep your dreams and thank you for sharing. From Georgia. Shooting sports is the good life. Just can't shoot semi-automatic handguns, don't like them. Port laws are dumb. Call it so I can go to bed. Work early. Oh crap, I lost where I was. Shotguns, I like shotguns, me too. Anyone here have a Ruger PC9? Are they shitty? Too clean as a Ruger 10/22. It's PC9. I don't know. We need to support Black Knight. Alright, does anybody have any other questions? So I'm going to wrap it up here. Really appreciate the super chats too. Thank you. It's really awesome. I've had time to clean the front of my cylinder. That's why I don't. That's why I don't shoot them all the time, and it fucks my wrist shooting mags all day.
Yeah, revolver magnum pistols are no joke. They do have some recoil. Have a good evening. You too, Scott.
We need to dial back YouTube's filter. It's blocking every little nasty word.
Yeah, Yeah, I apologize if your comments get blocked or anything. I have my filter turned on high right now because it's just the easiest way to do that. But I am going to probably back it down now. There's 3 different settings. Off. Words that are obviously bad. And then basically kindergarten level. And I got it set at kindergarten level right now. I'm going to probably bring that back down.
What do you think of Colt not selling AR-15s to the public anymore?
Colt? That's a whole nother separate video. I actually did a video, just hop on that. I don't want to get fired up because I'm about to call it a night. I don't want to lose any more sleep.
When are you going to get a stream lamp, or can I direct PayPal so YouTube don't get any money?
Yeah, of course, man. I got a link to my PayPal. I think even in the description of this video, then yeah, the percentage on PayPal is really low. YouTube takes somewhere around like 40-45%. So let's say you did a super chat for $10, I would get somewhere around like 5 or 6 of that.
Sloppy, he has a PayPal. I love Colt Polymer is my dream. Does the store do anything for Halloween?
Oh, we're in the center of town, so yeah, we have trick-or-treaters and everything come through here. But that's about really all we do for Halloween.
I like those too. Buy a used one. Do you have body armor?
No, I do not. I need to get some. I mean, that's a whole nother line of videos that I could touch on. So you got different levels. Then you got level 3, which is iffy, because some 5.56 it'll stop, some 5.56 it won't stop, some 7.62x51 it'll stop. Then you got all the way up to, like, I think it's level 5 with a trommel plate and everything. I will get to those videos at some point, but again, I mean, we're talking about fundage here. It takes a while. I can't imagine it's not going to be too much longer, and I'm going to have body armor companies sponsoring videos, so then it'll happen.
I have one of those too, Ken. It's been reliable as well, but it's loose as an AK. I did a 66 no dash over snake gun every day, 6-inch Python.
But anyways, any more questions? Because I'm about to close the live stream here. Give like,
what time is it?
10:25. If I'm not like engaged in answering a question, I think we're gonna shut her down.
Tell my wife shooting at the range with her husband would be a boring moment. If I ever come through Georgia, yeah, I'd love to jump on a 50 cal. Good night, everyone. Night, thanks. Do you know the Taurus G3 barrel fits in the G2C? Unfortunately, no, I don't. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Take care. Night all. Good night. Boring LOL. Do you do more live streams?
I only do a live stream about once a month, otherwise it just kind of loses its specialness. There's channels that have went basically strictly live streams and they're just not the same. I figured once a month is a decent stretch of time where it's worth seeing a live stream again.
Can do one with him. Kenneth.
All right. Well, thank you for joining. You all have a good night. Shutting her down.
All right, how the hell do I shut this thing off?